Hello, hello, hello to all of our viewers out there. Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight for another night of hot topics and social commentary. First things first, make sure you guys press that subscribe button. Be sure to leave us a comment. Maybe give us some suggestions on what you guys want to hear us talk about in the future, or give us some feedback on how you think we're doing thus far. Also, make sure you click the thumbs up button and be sure to click that notification bell so you are notified every time I post a new video. Of course, as usual, my co-hosts are back in town. Hey, Mike, Jennifer, and Tyrone.
Hello.
What's
And
going on, y'all?
we're in
I'm
town.
so sorry.
Oh, me. Don't worry, we unmuted you
I
for
know I
this so
seen it. I
Oh
try
gosh,
to be
that's
back like
funny.
a commercial break. Like,
Good times. Okay. I'm sorry, Jonathan. Go ahead. Did you have any church announcements?
No, not necessarily. You can go ahead and get us started off with our first topic, if you would.
Marvelous. First of all, I would just like to let you guys know to have just a small disclaimer. Just like last week, we are a little sick, but a lot less sick than last week. Praise the Lord. And hopefully, none of us will have any coughing fits as we are here. But we know how to use this mute button. But anywho, today we're going to start off with NeNe leaks. So, if you guys pay attention to anything, like all these blogs and all that stuff, NeNe went live and she was concerned with how people responded to the death of her husband, Greg Leaks, God rest his dead. And she was talking about how I guess she found out, or she feels like, I don't know, but there was a $200 bouquet that was sent that other people pitched in for. She sounded like, no, not everybody did enough. She said that some people came around like a week after Greg passed away. Like, um, I'm just gonna stop there,
when we
and
explain
I'm
it,
gonna let Mike explain a little bit further as well as give his opinion, because I'm not sure if I can give my opinion and not be sassy. Go ahead.
what happened was she was doing an interview or co-hosting on the E
Thank you so much. You
show
knew it. You got it.
with someone, and that person, I guess the host of the show, asked her about what did the housewives give you when Greg passed? Who gave you flowers? Who came and supported you to your basically to the repast or whatever it's called that they did at the NeNe Lounge? And she was saying that that's about Cynthia. They asked her like, what did Cynthia do? And she would just say Cynthia didn't come the week of, but she did come the following week. And then also her franchise, like Cynthia, Kenya, um,
Portia.
not Portia, Cynthia, Kenya, and Candy chipped in and got her a bouquet of flowers, which is like $200. And she was saying, I don't know why they had to chip in and give a $200 bouquet of flowers, but they chipped in and did that. But she said everybody did things on their own also. So because she said that, I think social media went off on NeNe saying, "Why did you have to go in detail about who got you what and what got you this?" And you talking about $200 bouquet of flowers. Just be grateful that somebody gave you something. But she did say that everybody did get her things individually also. But they just took that one little piece from what she said about the chipping in and ran off with that. Now, my opinion. I understand it looks shady because I think it was a very shady moment. I think NeNe knows it was a very shady moment because you didn't have to go in detail about how much the bouquet of flowers was. But I also think she's been doing reality TV for how many years now? It's kind of probably invested in her. This is how she does interviews. This is what makes her money. So I think a little bit of shade also keeps her relevant. So she also has to be mindful that when she does that, it's going to be positive and negative feedback. This time she got negative feedback. So, and I like NeNe, and I do feel like, Greg passed, well, maybe a month, 2 months now. So I know she's still a little stressed and I know she's hiding it. She doesn't share a lot. But I think today was probably just one of those days it really got to her. She didn't go live, but she did one of those fake Instagram things,
Yeah.
and she was speaking about the interview. And she said she doesn't have issue with anybody in the Housewives franchise. She said everybody called her. She said Andy even called her. The producers, cameraman, ladies from then and now called her. She said she has no issues with nobody, but she said she brought up a stalker. She said leave her alone. But I don't know who the stalker is. But
I have a question.
yes.
Do you think that she could be referred to like Claudia Jordan or somebody?
That could be because Claudia she has a lot of things to say, and I don't. Yes,
She did have
it
plenty
could
to
be.
say
It could be Claudia
because
doing it
that's when I
because
watched.
she
I
always
watched
has
the
something to say
interview.
on her show about NeNe. If NeNe says anything, Claudia jumps on that bandwagon real fast, trying to stay relevant.
Right. For me personally, I have this thing where, um, w- people are who they are.
Correct.
They're not going to change, especially after a certain amount of time. They're definitely not going to change. I don't know how old NeNe is, but she's definitely a grown ass woman, and she's going to be who she is. So
Correct.
this didn't really surprise me. I don't know what the girls could have done to have made her happy or made her feel good about what she received as far as condolences are concerned for the passing of her late husband. But I don't know if there's anything that they could have done for her to be happy. But now she's come back and she said, she's gotten condolences from everyone. She's happy with everyone. She doesn't have issues with anyone. And I understand that as well. But NeNe is who she is, and there's really no getting on her good side in this
I,
case. So
I
I,
did
I don't
miss
know.
one
She's who she
part. It
is.
probably was an important part. She
Oh,
did say she felt away because this is and she was honest. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. She said, I felt the way when they took in and got her a bouquet of flowers because she said when Todd Mama passed, she sent a whole catering crew to Todd and Candy for Todd Mama. She said when Marlo's brother passed, she sent like a crew to help with that and money. And then she said when somebody else passed, they did something for her. She did things for her, like the whole crew for things like they didn't have to worry about it. She said, so I did feel that way when they got her just a bouquet of flowers. Now I'm not making any excuse. I'm just letting you know the whole
mhm,
entire story. I didn't want to miss anything.
of course.
Okay,
Um,
so if that's the case, then you can't accept everyone to give the same way. People give in different ways. I'm a terrible giver. I'm a gift card giver. I have no creativity when it comes to giving. So, different people are different people. You can't be mad at someone because they can't think outside of the box of what someone might want when their husband has died.
Yes. And again, she's a reality person, so she's used to sharing things that probably us people would not share because it's not anybody else's business how we personally feel. We don't want to let anybody know let anybody know they feel bad about giving anything at the time like that. But I think she's just used to sharing things that probably we should not know about. It's been her life for a long time, so I'm giving her. I like NeNe, so I'm giving her an
somewhat of a
excuse,
pass.
somewhat of a pass because you know I know she's going through a lot. Anybody losing a husband over so many years is going through a lot anyway. But that on top of still trying to stay relevant, keep your bills paid. I'm sure there's so many things that's going through her head. She got allowances trying to keep open and is doing very well, but she still got to do everything. I feel bad. I mean, losing Greg, I think Greg was probably her person that kept her somewhat sane.
Yes.
So I think now she doesn't really have that person, that significant other now. So I'm gonna give her a pass because I just know she's in a bad place right now, and I really want NeNe to win still, and she's still winning. I just want her to really sometimes it's better to just be said nothing at all.
Yeah. I just think it's so unfortunate that so many of them kind of left NeNe on like a bad note. There's not a whole in some of the relationships there weren't a whole lot of positivity in those relationships from what it seemed like. But I do agree with Jonathan. Some people just don't give like you give.
That's correct.
Some people just don't, what I'm saying? Especially if the state of your relationship is kind of like up in the air, you don't know what to do. And flowers is a very great way to say, here you go. I understand that you have something traumatic going on in your life, and here you go. Um,
To me, the moment when somebody passes, no matter who it is for me, just your thought of thinking about me. You can give me a card, a gift card, a piece of napkin, a roll of tissue, a chicken from Bojangles or a Piggly Wiggly at Publix. Anything that you give me is just a thought that counts because, in all realness, I want the person who just passed away back, not the things that's
yeah,
going to die anyway. So,
but
Right.
notice you didn't mention a team of caterers. Anywho,
well, my money and my friends don't have money like that. Okay.
But I also want to say when Jennifer said, when their relationships aren't, the best,
little strained.
whose fault is that?
And it's both parties. You can't blame just one person. I think it's both parties. I think both parties have something to do with it. You talking, Steve? You were not going to try NeNe like that, Jonathan. You would not tell me
Okay.
your
I
leaks.
mean, I'm just making a point, you know what I'm
Both
Well,
parties
saying?
have something
because
to do with
sometimes we
it.
put ourselves in awkward situations, and when we really want a lot of people to respond to what's going on in your life, sometimes the negative things that were done in a relationship tend to still fester. Is
That's
that a nice
true.
way to say that? That's a nice
That's
way to say
true.
that.
Because I don't know. I have a friend I have an old friend that I'm not no longer friends with, but we've been friends for a long time. We were very close. And
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think if I found out, she's blocked on everything now, so I don't know what's going on in her life. But if I found out that somebody passed in her life, would I reach out? I don't know. I probably wouldn't. I probably just pray from afar and hope to
See?
wish the best.
And that to be honest, the things that some of the people just putting it out there, it just could be. I'm just saying, what if the uh how should I say?
You were frozen for a long time.
I
You
know I
good now?
saw. What if people were just giving things just so she won't be upset? Or simply because they really enjoy Greg. Everybody has so much positive things to
Say
say
about
about
Greg.
Greg.
I think they really gave because of Greg, not because of Lamitia.
So with
Agreed.
that being said, Jennifer, do you agree with what Claudia said? Be glad that somebody showed up for you. To me, that was a little bit far for her to say. Like that was a little bit disrespectful in my view, but I understood what she was saying.
Claudia's coming from a negative place, though.
I do agree with that.
Agreed.
Claudia is certainly coming from a negative place. And we all saw the footage from NeNe's the celebration of Greg's
Hmm.
life. There were plenty of people there.
Correct.
Who it was, in my opinion, does not matter. But of course, we kept on seeing her on TV with the same group of women in Real Housewives of Atlanta. And of course, you want to believe that they have some semblance of a relationship. She did have a lot of them there, but it's like, she had people to celebrate with her. She didn't blow up on anybody for not being there from what we've seen. I okay, Mike, I think you softened my heart to the whole situation. She's going through it.
She
Just
is.
she just answered that question the absolute wrong way, and
Yes.
she was a little bit too forthcoming because she could have said, um, "Yes, there were some things that I received plenty of flowers and a lot of nice things from the ladies," and just keep it like
Yeah,
that.
she didn't have to bring up the $20 bouquet that was shipped in. So I mean, yeah, it was definitely
And then,
disrespectful when she said
but
it.
here's my thing: how do you know they chipped in for it though? Oh, maybe because they're all
We
their
had
names
all their
on the
names on it.
card.
She said,
Probably. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I wouldn't know. I mean, to me, if I'm around a bunch of rich and they
Okay.
all chipped in for a $20 bouquet. I mean, I think I was like, girl, why you gotta chip in to get a bouquet for me? But she did say they bought individual things too. But I would be like, that's the only thing they got me. I would this is a little shady right here. Like we all had to chip in. They give me some bouquet of flowers, and I know what y'all make.
Especially Miss
Mm,
Candy over there.
Candy, all of
especially.
them. If I can afford $20 bouquet of flowers for myself, y'all should at least I should expect y'all to get something more than that though. But
I should
I
have
mean,
had a
just
bunch
think
of
about it.
$200 gift, $200 bouquets, basically.
Okay.
But for me, like at the same time, like your relationship with the person is probably going to reflect on the gift that you give them.
Well, there
So
you
if
go.
we're not on the best of terms, Do you think I'm gonna buy you a car or buy
But
you a
just
house or
but
do
just think
this or
about it,
that?
Jonathan.
No,
Just think
like
about it. Let's say we on this show together, okay, for 13 years. We had a issue that's really, I don't really care for you, don't care for me, but we still do this show because it's what the fans want. They like us when we crash, I clash,
Yes.
okay? But I'm not like you personally, but I still have some love for you because I have to see you every week regardless anyway. And so I still don't want you to fail. I want you to win still. If something should happen to you or you lose somebody, I'm still going to get you a gift because I still care about how you feel at the end of the day.
oh yeah, yeah.
So
I would
I
still
think
give
that's
them a
where Nene's
gift.
coming from.
Absolutely. But
I
you
think
know,
that's,
again, go ahead.
I mean, she makes money on being shady.
It just flows
Yeah.
out of mouth.
And just know,
Yep.
and how shady we are on this show, and this small show as of right now, you know, if we make it big, it's gonna be some questions that's gonna be asked individually to us, and
That's a
it
win.
may be a little bit shady there, but that's how we stay relevant.
But you know,
But
I
mine be
think that
coming out
might
of
be the
love though.
difference between us and her, because I promise you, I take inventory of the words that come out my mouth.
Yes, yes.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So if I wanted to be shady, I'd be shady after the show. And I would just give a nice little piece, especially with the situation like that. I'll just say,
No comment.
it was my birthday, and yes, I did not receive, the biggest things, but I actually received things from my castmates, and I appreciate those things.
Yeah.
Nigga be like, what did you?
Words
What nigga like you? Well, who gave you what?
Oh, okay.
at
I
that point
received
you can just be
gifts.
real with it.
We don't need to dig into that. God bless you. Okay, so the
That's
the
shady
straight
right there.
man in the
That's
building.
good shade. That's how you say
Okay.
safe shade.
Yes. We gonna have to coin that, Mike.
Safe
Safe
shade.
shade.
We know it's all about it. Everybody got different rounds of shade now. People are still,
Okay.
I'm a fun shade person, but don't try me because you can get chop shade too.
Okay. The whole book
Okay.
can be open. Your email
The
could have been
book,
read.
I'm gonna be calling Monique because I got the binder.
Ooh, we're gonna talk further about that, because I feel like we should talk about these shows a little bit after we need to be finished with NeNe, because we've been talking about her for about 17 minutes. So let us get the closing word from Tyrone, the straight man. Let me turn on your mic for you. There you
Hi.
go. Mm-hmm.
She expected a lot from her community, the community that she thought she had, but it clearly let her down because her expectations were higher than what they actually rose to.
Especially for Greg.
She thought that maybe because at least this was for him, even if you have a problem with me, you
Right.
would do this for him,
Mm-hmm.
not thinking that they would equate it to you receiving it, not Greg receiving it.
Thank you for those last words. I really do appreciate that, Tyrone. You're a
No
great
problem. I'm
man.
going back on mute.
Ooh,
But that was a really great point that Tyrone brought up. You know, Greg is such the polar opposite of NeNe. You know,
Absolutely.
if you're going to give it for Greg
I mean,
yeah.
and for NeNe as well, because she is still
but
mourning. So
I, whew, it's most unfortunate, that those relationships that she did have are strained, and she receives what she received. I mean,
Do you think she
It,
should still be on Housewives?
I don't see why
just
she shouldn't be on Housewives. To be honest,
well, this is my opinion. I think NeNe started the show, and I think she kept the show going for many years.
mhm.
She is reality TV. I think
Amen.
when you think about reality TV, think about New York from
Number one.
MTV. She's
Yes.
number one. She's the one who started this whole thing. Then you think about NeNe Leakes, then Take My Breath. I think NeNe Leakes is number two in the game. NeNe knew what to do for TV,
And she
and she
mm,
did it very well. So, do I think NeNe should come back. I definitely think NeNe should come back to reality TV. Not right now. I think she should stay home and heal first because hurt people in the wrong way. So I don't think she should come back right
Yes.
now.
Mhm.
It
Delicious.
is not going to be good. But I think 2 years from now, NeNe should definitely come back to Housewives of Atlanta. I think she needs to do some growing up still because how she left was so wrong.
So wrong.
So wrong, and she definitely needs to apologize to the whole entire Bravo behind the
So
scenes people and the Cohen, and she need to do it publicly. How she disrespected them, she need to do it. She need to apologize publicly also. But yes, NeNe should definitely come back. Do you know how many viewers will come back? Since NeNe been gone, it has not been the same.
because I will come back.
You will come back?
Yeah, because it's like I'm not interested that much in Portia. Not saying that
Well,
she
she
isn't
quit.
beautiful or she isn't great, but I'm just saying after she left.
Oh, okay.
I'm not saying that she isn't, beautiful, great woman or whatever. I'm not that interested in her. I do feel like Candy, she does show a lot of her family. I think all of that is cute, but I'm bored.
Boring.
And yeah, and new people, unfortunately, like they need to go through a whole training class on how to be on reality shows when you first get on somebody's reality show. Because it feels like they're trying too hard to be something that they're not so early. Like if you're when you're on your first season of a reality show, this is something that you should learn from watching reality shows. When you're on your first season, sit back, be
Sit back
present,
and do it just enough to get another season.
just enough.
Hire me on a reality show. I'm going to give you
Child.
a show, but I'm also going to not do too much the first season. Wendy from Potomac. Let's
Yes,
close it out on the lamp to let's bring up Potomac.
yes.
Wendy from Potomac is the definition of how you join a franchise and on the first season kind of sit back and kind of follow what people are doing. But season number 2, you see for who they really are and you let them know how you really feel about them. And Wendy's done
Absolutely.
just that. You guys have not been watching Potomac this season, but trust me, Wendy has given everything and said everything that we have been saying through the TV, but nobody else has been saying it on the cast. Wendy has done that this season to Giselle and Robin. Y'all don't know
Those are
what I'm
some
talking about,
sad
but
women.
trust me, y'all will
Lord.
see clips where Wendy read Giselle ass and Robin ass this season.
Absolutely and thoroughly. My favorite one was how Giselle referred to Wendy as a hater. And the venue of this moment was Giselle's home, which was literally under construction. And she said, hating
Hating
this,
on this?
this.
Like 2 houses slapped together, like for
Okay.
And
real.
she could have gone even further to say, hating on your husband, hating
What
on.
husband?
Mm.
Okay.
She could
Well,
have gone off for days, but she just stopped at this.
no, she went on towards the end when she invited the girls on the trip, and she said she named everybody husbands. You know, he can come. Giselle, your luggage can come.
Well, it's like, I don't understand how you could be so shady and have such a
Oh.
weak glass house. Like,
You know, Giselle to me is almost equivalent to. I hate to say it, but she's almost equivalent to a NeNe for Potomac.
almost. Because NeNe
Almost.
had stuff to
Giselle
back
knows
it up.
what to do to keep the show in good standing and interesting. I
But
really
when,
don't think Giselle is the person that she is on TV behind the scenes because ain't no, I can't. I just know that girl. You know how your house looking. You can't be so shady when your house
ain't
looking like a.
no way you
But
can do all that talking. But let me ask you something, y'all, everyone. The last season's what's it called?
reunion.
Reunion
Mm-hmm.
where the banner and
Mhm.
everything was okay. And they were wearing yellow. Some people doing it very well, some people doing it absolutely
Awful.
horrendously. What uh what did y'all think when Karen was really going after Giselle? She couldn't say a word throughout the whole thing. It's like most people that read and do the back and forth, you would think, especially the way Giselle be going off on people, you would think that you would have some kind of comeback, even if they're over here spilling all your teas, all your truth over here. She was silent.
Well, unlike Atlanta housewives who know how to read instantly, have a quick comeback, Potomac is not that way. And Giselle, I think, because what was going on was very truthful.
So truthful.
She, let me tell you what she messed up at.
What she messed up?
When Monique read the number out, and then Andy said, "Is that his number?" And she said, "Yes."
That's all she can do. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That was where she messed up. I was saying, no, I don't care if that it was the right number or not.
Okay, because who remembers numbers? No.
Right, because I definitely don't know what Jennifer's number is, but I don't sure know how to find her on my phone.
Okay, but
I think Giselle was in a very vulnerable place at that time, especially for what was going on in her life. I think that might be the reason why she really didn't respond, or maybe she couldn't think of anything much better to say in defense. But
she wasn't prepared. She wasn't prepared for somebody to do that to her.
Right, exactly. She wasn't prepared. She didn't know what to say. She didn't know how to come back for it.
Hell, we wasn't prepared as viewers.
Finding out about that binder of truths, and that thing was full, chock full of receipts and everything. It is like she just came there ready.
Oh, she was on ready.
Ready.
She even read Andy.
Now let me. Yeah.
That little chat. Oof.
Yeah, I know she make too much money to ever come back, but I wouldn't mind to see some kind of redemption for Monique, because you can't call her no aggressive monster or anything like that when somebody like a little chihuahua, like they called her recently, Miss Candace over here is over here nipping at your ankles.
Right.
Wanting to get bit.
Right. Yeah. I don't condone violence whatsoever, but I honestly didn't blame Monique for doing what she did to Candace, because to me it was warranted in a way, in a certain kind of way. But yeah.
It's like Candace came up in a private school where she never had any consequences for the things that came out of her mouth. Nobody has been able, or nobody thought to pop her.
Yeah, she thinks she's untouchable.
Oh, but she was untouchable that day.
Okay.
Whew.
Wig and all.
Ooh.
Yeah, I don't condone violence either, but if you bring it to me, I shall return the favor. So you can't be doing all this in my face and having your hands in my face and telling me what you're gonna do, Monique. Do it, Monique. Hit me, Monique. And you in my face like it's all, and then they're drinking wine too. They were drunk.
Ooh.
No,
and speaking of housewives, going back to Atlanta, I saw on the Shade Room earlier this week that Marlo Hampton has officially received her peach.
Yes, they're bringing Sheree back for the third time, which I think is a good. I like Sheree. Marlo is now getting a peach, which I feel like is kind of like, girl, nope, Portia quit. The Cynthia got fired.
They had
NeNe's not here. I mean,
they had to. They had no choice.
Something. I wouldn't be. I mean, I know she's excited because it come on a bigger check, but still, I'm like, this is kind of like then last moment that we need somebody on the show.
But hey,
she got it, and I think Marlo is good TV, but we should see if the peach goes to her head.
It seemed like last season, from what little bit I could see, looked like she was more of like a peacemaker, like she might have calmed down or is trying to show like the softer side of.
No,
but that's not who she is on the inside. That's not who she is naturally.
Do y'all believe she's a scammer?
Hell yeah!
I mean, she has 13.
Oh,
it's like, what do you do, ma'am? What do you do?
Well,
that's how I've always thought.
Or maybe the better question would be, who do you do? Maybe that's the better question.
Because I was thinking that's why they would never choose her as a person on there. Oh,
right,
God,
because she has no career to speak of.
None. Do you have any comments, Tyrone, straight man in the room?
He doesn't know what we're talking about. This is foreign language.
Oh no,
Okay,
I know some of it. Yeah, I've been aware of some of this stuff. I just don't fully subscribe to it. You know,
and that's okay, Tyrone. We still
Same
love
here. I don't.
And
I don't fully
I'm here
subscribe
for the
to it.
giggles, man. I am definitely here. That
That's-
shade that she threw about and this,
Yeah.
I'm
Like,
jealous of this.
I'm gonna have to. Let me tell you something. Instagram
Hilarious.
has been my TV.
Yes.
Because sometimes you don't want to sit there and watch a whole episode of stuff.
Should hide
So-
the clips.
Show me
So
the highlights.
The highlights come through Instagram very well for me. I feel like I watched all of Potomac. But I was just literally looking at all of the clips, listening to other people review it. I enjoy listening to other people's reviews of these things and conflicting reviews as well, just to see how people are receiving it. But as far as watching it, no.
Well, I have a little highlight. I'm pretty sure you didn't see this one. So the reunion for Potomac is coming up not this weekend, but weekend after next. And you do know the special guest for this reunion is Nicki Minaj.
Gosh,
And Karen was on Ask What Happens Live with
I
Andy.
saw that too.
Are you know? Okay. And
I'm
she said
telling
Nicki
you.
Minaj gave the business to Giselle.
As
Candace, but Giselle needed to.
as she should.
As she should. So
Well,
I really think it's gonna be I heard it's gonna be good anyway, but I really think this reunion is gonna be very good.
So
Now-
why is Nikki going to be on the reunion?
She's been a fan of the show. She's been like tweeting about the show
She's
and
been tweeting
asking
about
Andy, can she
everything.
host the reunion?
Okay.
So she's coming in like I think towards the end, just to ask some questions and straighten some people out.
So
Okay.
so now since we're on Potomac and stuff, what is y'all opinion of Robin?
Nothing. I think she should leave the show. Frick and frack. Robin is like Cynthia, just boring as hell. And I think Robin should leave the show ASAP. She doesn't have a storyline other than being up Giselle's ass, and I think she should go right now. I was hoping she didn't come back this season, but Monique quit, so they had to bring her back because they needed one more housewife, I guess. So I hope next season we don't have to see Robin and Warren Dixon. I hope Warren Dixon is not here and nor Robin next season. Goodbye to the loop. Chapter close.
Wow, then.
Right. In the words of the great Evelyn Lozada,
You are
she's a
not
non-factor. Okay.
Yes.
I think Robin is, a very beautiful woman, but
I don't.
like what do you have to offer to this show?
Nothing.
And I'm not seeing that.
There's nothing.
at
First of all,
all. She's pretty much Giselle's sidekick. That's pretty much all she is. I mean,
And
No,
see what
not
happens
the
here.
sidekick, just her amen corner, somebody to back up.
yeah.
And the things that she was saying, even like fussing, is like you looking at her like, girl, like
It's like y'all have the same brain, and we don't need one Giselle. We don't need two. So Giselle's good TV. Robin, you just her backup. Sometimes Batman can go on his own and leave Robin behind.
And
do you
I
think
was,
oh, go ahead.
and I felt bamboozled when I saw Robin's hair at the reunion
Last
last
year.
year. I don't know what that
Ooh.
was.
I can say this year I saw the reunion looks, and Robin did good this year. But last year,
Okay.
I don't know what in the tiger strike was going on last year.
Yeah. Child,
Oh,
something
let
new,
me
I
ask
guess.
y'all, what do y'all think about Robin's relationship? Does it exist?
As much as I don't watch it, I still say no. It does not.
As much as I want to be shady, I'm not the person who's going to be shady, but also honest. I think it exists, but nobody gives a about it.
Let me tell you what I think. I think it exists, and Warren just don't want to be on camera.
Well, I think after
That could be very true.
I think Tyrone might got tea. Why you say no?
Robin is making them stick around for the kids in the show.
But he barely be on TV. I think next week will be his second time on the show.
But that would be a little bit weird because a lot of times men don't feel pressured to stay in a relationship when they really don't want to be in a relationship. That seems to be more of a woman type of thing.
But the
where
way
they
that
try to-
they came together,
look at Giselle and look at Jamal. Giselle is keeping Jamal. Why?
They're not together
For
anymore.
the show.
I don't think they're not together anymore, but I do think it was last season. It
For
was
the
for the show or
show.
something.
That
It's
that
for
last
the
time,
show.
that
Well, it
last
made her
season
look
was for the
stupid though,
show.
because she talked Cash Cold stuff about him in the beginning of her era on the show, and to go back with the man, I don't understand why.
But do you know the
For
saving
the
grace for
show.
Giselle for me is the fact that her daughters are not stupid.
And they read her as
Right.
last week.
Mm.
They sure did. It's like,
Grace don't care about what she said in her mouth.
how
Okay?
your
But how would they like
children
Grace?
got more sense than you?
I can't say she
Right.
do a good job parenting because them girls got common
Yeah.
sense.
Okay, common sense
Now,
that she don't even have. So seem like sometimes.
Juan has been a private person,
Yeah.
and all this exposure to his life and his lifestyle is cramped his style a lot, quite a lot.
So he was
That,
out there dipping it
you
and doing
know,
it
he can't do what he want to do
because people think he's still
because
happily in the
what they see on
relationship.
TV.
Nobody
Because
should for Juan if he wasn't on TV. So I don't think that's
No. There was two.
true. What?
yes, he's from DC.
Well, we know he cheated before, but I don't think people. I mean, they're on him right now because he's on the TV show. But I don't really think everybody checking for Juan.
They checking, sweetie.
Are they checking?
Because
checking.
Juan still got NBA check. And he's
Dude,
got
didn't they-
University of Maryland check
Oh well, yeah.
as a coach.
That's monies.
I don't think Juan just care about being on TV, but I mean, the relationship is so boring and it looks
I don't
boring
think they
on
have a
TV.
relationship.
Because think about it. If you're at a basketball game coaching and, you know, in between times, people running up to you talking about what they saw on the show.
Child, I guess. I've never cheated before, so I'm not familiar with that life.
Why are you coming to me, man? That's her. That's her stuff. Is his mindset on all of it.
And you know how the women's out there, they don't care if you're married or not.
No.
Especially if you have someone that delusional to try to force a non-relationship to make it seem like a relationship in front of other people.
Right.
And also try to play around with this thing like, oh, we engaged, you about to get married. Oh, you ain't invited to the wedding. What wedding, Robin?
Right. How long y'all been
I'm-
supposed to be married? And how long have you been on this show, girl?
Right now.
They are common law married
Anywho,
We black people don't believe
because
in
they
that.
stay in the same house. They've been staying in the same house for more than 7 years in the state of Maryland. This is how that works. Being
They
common
was
law
staying in the same house
married.
when they was divorced.
And
I always thought the common law marriage was 10 years.
Maryland is
for the
7.
state of Maryland is 7. But that's crazy
Okay.
though, because so you get a divorce, but you still live together. Y'all can still end up being common law married.
Mhm.
That's weird. Anywho,
Especially
okay.
if y'all money co-mingling and everything like that. Y'all paying the bills together and stuff like that. Maryland kind of like, hey, so y'all cohabitating.
Y'all doing this life together, huh?
Y'all doing this life together. Okay,
Oh,
y'all
child.
are gonna be looked at as y'all is one.
So do y'all watch like what other things have y'all been watching? Well, I'll just tell y'all.
Insecure.
I have been watching like reality based.
Um,
So for me, I have been watching Ready to Love. That has been an experience thus far. I think my mother's trying to get me to watch Married at First Sight. Them people are, first of all,
Crazy.
they're just crazy. You're right. A lot of them are crazy. And my favorite show though is Family or Fiance.
That is a
That-
really good show.
It is.
Family and Fiance is so dope.
no, I never watched any of
There's a
those.
lot
I used to watch
old
90
stuff.
Day Fiance. I used to like maybe catch clips or watch it.
Yeah.
But my favorite reality, well, not favorite, but it's reality. But I don't know if it's a reality that we are talking about right now. But My 600-Pound Life is one of a good show I love to watch.
I like to watch that show as well.
And let me tell you what's so nasty. Like some of that time, sometimes when they be eating that food be looking so good. To be honest, that food be like,
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
What a
You
combination. He has
you
pizza.
understand how
He's
they
got
got to where they were.
oh, I definitely understand.
Right.
I can be your sister, okay, or your brother quickly, but I pull away
because
from the
it could have been
table
me.
slowly, but I pull away.
And Dr. Nazardin, like he's
Ooh,
the most calm and even keeled
oh yeah, and he don't
person
care what he
that
say.
I like have seen on TV. But the thing is, like, whenever someone, like, let's say he's giving someone a goal and they didn't meet the goal, whenever he's disappointed, you can still tell that he's disappointed, and you can still tell that he's getting on your ass. But he still does it in his demure tone. I love that.
I
Hmm.
remember he
He has
told
checked them. So,
somebody, if you don't eat for 1 year, you'll still be okay. So it's no excuse. I said, oof.
Wow.
with a
But
lot of
yeah,
fat burn.
Well,
yeah, I really don't watch reality shows that much. I will say that the couple of times that I have seen Love After Lockup,
Oh,
that does
yes,
pull
man.
me in. However, just seeing these people in this situation, somebody is being made a fool of, and I can't stand seeing people being taken advantage of. It's like it
Bothers me.
irks me to no end. Like I cannot stand that. But
what irks me is
it's
it's real. I'm like, these are the people do this for
Yes.
real. Like I'm like, y'all are fools.
And
Like
believe you're in love with somebody over the phone. Yes, it is certainly possible. But we make decisions based off this phone call. Can we make decisions based off of what happens after you get out?
And, to Mike's point, he says that it's real, but it seems like it's only real for one of the people. And it seems like it's only real for the person who is not in jail.
Mhm.
So,
Ooh.
but
it's
in
because,
jail, how could you take anything serious? You're just probably trying to find the best way or best person to live with when you get
In
out. I don't think it's
jail,
something serious.
yeah,
First of
child.
all, you cannot bribe me into putting money in your books and I don't know you.
Come
Um,
on.
come
okay,
on,
you cannot. I
somebody.
cannot do that. I just can't. All this money I didn't work hard for, you tell me to put any of your books that I never met you in person, don't know you at all. I met you on some kind of app for inmates.
Oof.
Right. And that's how most of these people are found on these
No,
websites that I have no idea about. I don't know what website
and
these
don't
are,
want
but
to
apparently
know.
they're out
And
there.
have no
If you can do
desire.
that for it, a relationship is two ways.
Oh,
But right now, I'm only doing all the work. All you're doing is picking up the phone or using some kind of cell phone to get in. No, I'm your buddy. What you call it? Your whatever,
pen pal.
your pen pal. That's what I'm
Right.
doing. I'm not. No. It won't work up over here. Mm-mm.
I
I
thoroughly
really think the people
agree.
who are outside of jail have some kind of
They do have issues. Here's the
yes.
thing. From what I've seen, it looks like the people that are reaching out to people that's in jail are desperate. And the problem with reaching out to
Very.
people that's in jail, they're just looking for somebody to talk to as well.
They're
And it's
lonely.
easy.
Get you a pet
It's
girl.
it's easy to get talking to somebody in jail because they just want somebody else to talk to too, somebody else, because sometimes their family's not even trying to look out for him, their family's not trying to say anything, friends not even coming by, not calling, no nothing. But when you create a relationship with that a stranger, it's nothing. And you
And
can phew, child, you can make
and
it
I
seem
don't
like
blame
you
the
do
inmates.
whatever
I
you
don't
want to
blame them at
say.
all.
Right. And
If
Maybe
I
I,
was
I
in jail,
was
I want me a pen pal too.
And
okay.
Jennifer, that's something that I've always thought about while watching this show. Like these people that are going out looking for inmates to date, looking for inmates to date. In my
It's
opinion, they've just
easier.
given up. In my
It's
opinion, they've
easier.
just given up. Millions of people
Well,
who are not incarcerated, who
Come
are
on.
out here
Yes.
in the free world, and you want to deliberately go looking for someone who is
Behind
incarcerated.
bars.
It don't make sense to me.
Not one bit. But to them,
Okay.
I mean, they're on TV, so I guess they're doing better. Looking
Speaking
stupid on
of
TV.
looking stupid on TV. So I just want to ask you real quickly. We got like 15 or so minutes left. So I was watching the show Ready to Love. This is basically a dating show. like 15 or so women, 15 or so men, and they're basically coming together to try to see who's going to be a match. So in the situation, you are going to want to try to date a few people, you know what I'm saying, so that you can see who is for you in that pool of men or women, right? So
This is
there's
the
one
show that
woman,
Nephew Tommy hosts, isn't it?
yes,
Okay, okay.
yes. So one woman, the first day, she met this man and she really enjoyed his conversation. Apparently, after that, she decided not to focus on anybody else. She just wanted to get she just wanted to focus her attention on this one man. So when and they do eliminations, you know, who's not feeling one of the men, right? So she said, "Oh, this dude, he's my boo. That's my baby." You know what I'm saying? That's like, oh, okay. Um, and you saw her heart sink and look like a little sad puppy when there's about 3 other women that were feeling his rhythm as well. And
Mm.
then after that, she went on a double date with another dude, and the dude that she said was her boyfriend was on a date with a
Another
different girl,
woman.
but they did a double date.
Hmm.
And she was unhappy at the fact that they were enjoying each other. She pretty much watching everything that he does. And even on top of that, especially with trying to own somebody when you just met them
Mm.
like 3 days ago, she feels like we shouldn't be having sex until marriage, and then almost condemn people that felt like that's a bit much. So within 3 days, she has basically married somebody in her brain. What do y'all think about that?
I
Mm.
personally understand that, understand why someone would do something like that. I really do get that. Someone who is looking for love, who is yearning for love, and once they see something like she probably saw an aura around him. She probably said, "Ooh, that's him right there." When you get yourself all all jacked up for that moment, when you get yourself all psyched up for that, and your mind is on that goal of finding my husband. I'm finding She went to that show and said, "I'm finding my husband on this show." And she went there. When I really understand that, would I find myself in that situation? I would hope not. But I really do. I get it. I get it. I get
You
it.
say
It
she's
doesn't
looking and she's hoping. I think she's desperate. Is the
ag-
word.
agreed.
Desperate for
Very
love.
desperate.
I think we all want to find some. Well, me and you want. They already found somebody at the bottom, but
Right.
me and you are looking. We're not even just hoping it happen. I'm not even looking. Just if it happened, it happened. But
Yeah.
um, I think a lot of people, when men and women, are just like this lady here on this show. Um, and I think we all could be somewhat have a little bit of her in us. Because
Yes.
I think like
Mhm.
Dean Johnson said before, when we kind of like get googly eyes the first meetup, and if it goes
Of course.
well, but I also have this thing back in my mind, like, slow the fuck down. This might not be it right here. She don't
Oh,
have that. She doesn't have that person.
yes.
Okay.
So
Mm.
I feel bad
So
for her because her
Mm-hmm.
mindset. She doesn't allow herself to just slow it down and take the time.
Right,
She's
because
already married. Yeah.
to be honest, I feel like when I find my husband, I'm going to want to run straight to the altar. I know I'm going to want to do that, but I have to
No.
realize that this is
We'll
not
be
a
here to slow you
game.
down.
Okay, this is real life. Okay, and we are real people, and we have to do this like real people do it, and we have to take
Yes.
it slow, and we have time. So
And granted, no, some people do fall in love fast and make it for a long time. But
right.
if I'm on a dating show, it should not
dating
be definitely
show.
go like that at all.
Exactly, exactly. The chances of you finding your husband on a dating show are
Slim.
Slim
very
to
slim
none.
to none.
How many seasons of dating shows have there been now with the same people on them? Like Flavor Flav was number one of them. He was on. He had 3 seasons of the same show.
Right. I
And
think
you
there have
know,
been
he had
like
a girlfriend the first show. first season. He already had a girlfriend, and he
And
went
like
and did the
how
show.
like how many seasons of The Bachelor and The Bachelorette have there been?
12,
And
13,
how many
14.
of
It's
those
like,
couples are married now?
I
Probably
think
less than
one, right?
5.
I
Or
think there
five.
Maybe
might
yeah,
be
I
one.
think there is one. I think so.
I think there's one that I know of. But what were we gonna say, Tyrone?
I think she fell victim to having her palate refreshed. She's been used to having a certain type of dude,
Ooh, okay, I hear you.
and now she's been introduced to this new flavor
Now we
of
need to
a
get married.
man, and she's like, "Ooh, I want
That
that."
that would have been fine if it wasn't on a dating show.
Date
It
But
was
dating.
15
yeah, yeah,
other
yeah,
people.
that's the problem. She did not anticipate the mix of everybody else. She thought
Which,
that she could have an exclusive rights to this man
She
here.
must have never seen that show before
And
because
that's what happens to people that have never been on a game show or a dating show, which is a game show. Because
but they
that's
literally
what they are.
tell you
No,
to
no,
find yourself some people. It didn't say the
they tell
one. It
you
says
that,
find some people.
but
Date somebody.
your goal when you walked in there was to find my one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm.
Just like
but it has to
Jonathan
be
said.
mutual also.
But you don't think nobody else is gonna
Connect
look
like y'all connect.
at
Right.
my one and connect
You should have seen
as
how she was
equal
looking at them
or greater
girls.
than I did.
Was she
And
black or
so
white?
she felt that she
Black, all
had
black.
a moment of connection. And so she wanted
But
to
here's another issue.
put her stamp on him.
This is where, unfortunately, sometimes it kind of turns to crazy.
Yeah. She turned
She
crazy.
didn't have this conversation of, oh gosh, I think you're just the one for me. She didn't say none of that to him. But
Because she
as
know
soon as
that
she get
sounds
into
crazy.
confessionals, oh, that's man right there. That's boyfriend right there. That's husband right there.
Okay. Wow.
Because, okay, if she was to say that to him, chances are 50-50 chance he's going to get scared.
No, that's
And run
90,
away.
10.
But if you act the
That I was
way,
I was
what you
actually
say,
going
I'll
to
get scared.
There's some guys out there that were like, "Oh, cool, yeah, I
was
really
actually
like you
Really
too."
here for me.
She
I was
really
actually going to say the same thing that Tyrone said. Like if he told her that, that would make that man run. Like when you have someone like we've known each other for 3 days and you want to come
3
up to me
days.
and tell me that you my husband.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Get
Okay.
out.
But if you act that way, and let's say you don't
And,
say, but you act that way, I'm still
you know,
gonna run.
women
Regardless.
must understand that it is not your job to find the man; it's the man's job to find you.
That's true. And she didn't feel, and I guess she didn't try to calculate the fact that he was talking to other women the same the way that he was talking to
Absolutely.
her. But anywho, let me get on this one last thing, and then let's be done with this. So she also felt like everyone should pretty much hold sexual relations till after marriage. Now,
Everyone.
first of all, number one, I understand what she's saying. I get it. It makes sense and it works for her. And that's great for her. But I feel like something like that, everyone is just going to have to live and let live. Everyone's just going to have to be like, that's what you do. This is what I do. And it's all okay. It doesn't make anybody wrong. I don't care how
Right.
Christian you
Mm-mm.
are. It doesn't make,
Mm-mm.
because we all have these same sexual urges. Just because you do a better job of keeping that rabbit on your clitoris a little bit better than everybody else doesn't mean that
Mm.
it makes you better or make you more holy.
I I think I might have to tap dance on brother Kevin Samuels on this. That man, when he comes and shows interest in you, he's expecting to get something in return. And
That
for
is
you
true.
to have this attitude that he gets nothing from you all the
Period.
way until after you said I do.
Whew.
He gets nothing. What about foreplay?
This
He
is
don't
a
get it either.
reason. This will be a reason for men to walk out of your life.
I bet she might do a little something, but I doubt it will be the full
Because
sexual experience.
like they
Intercourse.
say, you keep them how you get them. And if you got him by wearing sexy things and dancing around him all the way to the brink of having sex, and that's where you stop, you're going to have to continue to do that to keep him interested in you.
This is a good conversation. I feel like we don't have enough time for.
If you don't, you will lose him every time.
So
somebody, what you won't do, somebody else will do.
Well, that's true. So
Right.
I'm not the person who will hold out to get
condoning.
married because I know what I'm getting myself into before then. But
yes, I accidentally had sex before. Somehow it just happened a few times.
Look, some people need to have,
and I agree. I mean,
look, can I have a
part of a relationship of getting to know each other, and I think it's very important because I think divorce is ending in money and also sex. So
true.
I try to make sure that we got both of that intact.
Just a bit of encouragement for anybody that has a really great boyfriend or girlfriend and has had some bad sex. Continue to talk to them. Stay open in communication.
Number one.
And if they don't learn from what you're saying that you want, then let them go.
Because it's a song and a dance. And if y'all not even coming together to start with there's an issue. If you're always waiting for the other person to be the fire starter, then there is an issue.
But I agree.
Very first love, like they told me I need to start initiating things. I was just I didn't know how to. But now I know how to initiate.
But going into a setting like that and then just saying that, I expect everyone to refrain from sexual activity until you're married, like that's really unreasonable for you to go.
Just to give her a little bit now, she didn't say I expect. She basically looked at everybody like they were crazy because I need to have some sex. They were like, I need to get it in first to find out how that is. And she was like,
on a game show, I don't know if I would have sex on a game show.
Not on a game show.
No, not on reality TV. Hell no. Absolutely
I can't say it depends what kind of reality TV it is, but a game show reality TV, it won't be happening.
No.
Okay. Because they got cameras in all those rooms.
Huh?
What kind of TV is good enough for you?
Let's say it's about, like I said, we're on a cast, not a game show. Like your life, like Atlanta Housewives, Potomac. Like you're gonna be caught doing something probably, but a game show is not gonna be
no.
Oh, like Portia got caught with the stripper Bolo. Yeah.
No, you see Bolo, I'll get caught too.
Okay.
If I was so married.
Oh, honey. Okay,
right.
I'm gonna put this out there. It's nothing wrong with two adults waiting.
Oh yeah, nothing wrong with that.
But to put the shackles on one half of the couple because whatever reason you come up with, there's an issue there that you need to sit down and have a real conversation about.
I've tried to put the shackles on because I'll be feeling like, man, I'm saved, man. I don't need to be having all this sex. But every time I would come to you, Tyrone, it's like, oh, okay.
To the shackles of my feet so I can dance.
Come on.
Go ahead and dance. Do the song and dance.
What that song mean, everybody? What that song mean?
Whatever song that works for you, it works for you. If that song says, "Hey, we just gonna sit here,"
and Tyrone would just say, "Okay," that's so hilarious. Tyrone would listen to me, be like, "Man, we can't be having no sex no more." He'd be like, "All right." And then,
like, what you want to do?
Child.
I come see him. It's like, well,
a quick question, I guess, for it's an hour now, but I guess if you find somebody after a while, and it's really good. You really want to pursue them, but one person does not. They already made it known that they're not doing anything before marriage. Do you just walk away from that, or do you?
That's a conversation that you need to
I
have,
I
man.
personally would not walk away from that. And here's why. If our relationship is strong enough and I truly see you as my forever man, I'm gonna wait.
Well,
I
how
can
long are you
wait.
waiting?
What was that?
How long are you gonna be waiting? 'Cause we didn't be
No more
married
than
within a couple.
no no
You
no
get the
no.
bars.
Here's my thing. I feel as though maybe about a year. I think maybe a year would be okay for me. Getting into like the 3 year, 4 year, five, that's asking a little bit too much
Oh
for
no.
me.
That might be why that girl crazy as like she
That's
is
it,
on
because
that
she
show.
waited for more than and then
Cause
didn't get
She's
married.
I
fiending.
Look,
guarantee you, her longest relationship was 5 years, and she did not let them
touch him.
even touch her
I'm
in the
pretty sure
Probably
she was
five
did.
doing things
years.
on the side. 5 years
I
is too
And
really
then
did.
long.
in that 5 years, that man cheated at least twice, and she don't know why.
Oh, he did more than that.
Yeah, she did more than that.
Probably even had a baby on him too.
Oh Lord.
Well,
But
that
And
ain't a
she
good
sat
relationship no
there.
more.
I don't know why he did. I'm such a good woman.
but like we
Look,
said, it's a conversation.
you didn't
Have
have
the
the
conversation
conversation.
together as one to come to understandings. And I do, for your question, Mike, I would say hold on, because you also can remember the fact that the other person you're talking to is human too.
Hmm.
It's
Right.
like he realized I was human and I was very weak. The flesh was so
Oh, so
very
you thought wait for weak moments and then get it.
yeah. Or just say no. You said no.
True
No, you
fears I'm
no. You
tired.
said
You
no.
said no. That really
Options
happened.
of you.
I know I said no, but
I'm
Wonderful. And
trying to pray.
I just
Oh,
want
stop.
to, just
Okay.
this one
I'm
time.
sorry. This is enough. We
I'm
should
all churched out.
you guys
oh my
you guys want us
gosh.
to talk
Yes.
about these things more often. Go ahead and put it in the chat. Give us a comment and stuff. Let us know how we're doing. If we're going too long over stuff, let us know how we're doing. If you think we just need to shut up,
Keep it moving. Okay.
you can let us know. That
You
doesn't
can
mean we're
let
going to
us know.
stop.
We ain't
Drop
gonna
a
stop
Anyway,
though.
comment.
And
Drop.
let's
let's go.
continue this conversation. Let's continue this conversation down in the comments. So be sure to give us your feedback on these various topics that we touched. But we want to thank everyone for joining us tonight. It's been a wonderful time. And so be sure to join us again next Thursday at 9:30 p.m. on the dot. We're going live once again. Once again, also be sure to subscribe, click the thumbs up button, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell. Mike, go ahead and drop us your social media platforms.
Yes, my social media platforms is Mr. Real 121 at the bottom of the screen. There we go. On Instagram and also on Twitter. I definitely think you should subscribe because this week, Saturday, it's gonna be some beautiful pictures of me as a lucky somebody
Yes.
that Jonathan
Yes.
and Jennifer has already seen. You don't want to miss it.
Oh,
Yes. Yes.
yes. Fabulosity. All right. Jennifer Tyrone, your social media platforms.
Okay, I am J Star Bright.
Ding.
I'm on Instagram and even Twitter. I don't tweet or nothing like that. But hit me up. Jennifer Star McCullum on Facebook. I really have to use the restroom. Like I'm about to do the pee pee dance. I'll be back.
We'll be at next week. So she's not gonna be back.
Tyrone, give us your social media platforms, if you will.
Beautiful people, you can follow me on Instagram and Facebook at Mr. TD McCullum. I do music, I do video. Hit me up.
All right. And you can also hit me up on Instagram. I am Jojo underscore 3020. Also on Facebook, you can find me. My name is Jonathan Lee, Jonathan. And be sure once again to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you guys once again for joining us, and we will see you next week. Have a wonderful week, y'all. Bye.
Hey.